unfortunately, two people were lost. And it is on the basis of that that we banned medical outreaches that happen anywhere outside hospital facilities. Whatever medical outreach that will happen in the state can only take place within the premises of a medical facility and supervised by competent medical professionals. We shall no longer allow any abuse of standard medical safety protocol by individuals and groups, however well intentioned. The third part of our program this afternoon, which also had been launched, is the Sound Intervention Hearing Mission 2025, a project sponsored by the Olusegun Obasanjo Foundation in partnership with the Abia State Government. The Sound Intervention Hearing Mission will see the distribution of premium hearing aids and support systems to 1,000 persons with hearing impairment selected from different states and communities in the Southeast region. The beneficiaries have been thoroughly screened and pre-selected in line with the pre-qualification conditions defined by the sponsors and our team of experts to guarantee that the aids are distributed to the intended beneficiaries. This initiative will bring immeasurable relief to our brothers and sisters who have challenges with their auditory organs and effectively improve their environmental awareness and quality of life. Again, this support is coming at no direct financial cost to the beneficiaries. Let me at this point, and on behalf of the government and people of Abia State, express our collective gratitude to President Olusegun Obasanjo CFR for his love for our people and for coming in person to participate in the launch of this life-changing initiative. President Obasanjo's patriotism, even at a very advanced age, continues to inspire and serve as an eternal reminder to all of us that no matter our disappointments and frustrations with the state of affairs in the country, we will never give up on Nigeria and its great promises. A lot of things may not have gone as many of us expected, especially in the light of multiple challenges bedeviling the nation and its constituent parts, where President Obasanjo's continued engagements in public affairs challenges us to remain optimistic, especially in the face of setbacks. I want to again thank our leader for bringing the Foundation's Health Intervention Initiative to Abia this year, which in my estimation is a great endorsement of the modern development strides this administration has recorded in the last 22 months. A statement seal of approval is not given lightly, and we are pleased as a state to have caught the attention of Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, who not only served this nation with energy of his youth, but continues to make timely and stately interventions without bowing to the vicissitudes of age. We thank the Almighty God for the gift of this great leader and wish him even longer and more fulfilled years. Following the inspiring examples of our former president, we shall continue to strive to do the best for our people, taking decisions that are in the long-term interest of the state, even if they are not immediately popular. We knew long before assuming office that things were in a terrible shape. Yet, we were frightened to the bones by the level of decay and abuses that we saw as we took over. At any rate, because we came prepared to right the wrongs of the past and create new standards that would forever banish mediocrity in our quality, we had to roll up our sleeves to do whatever was required to deal with what we met on ground. Thank God, some modest positive results are showing. Aba, a city that aptly captured the neglect and disastrous wrong of the old order, is quickly regaining its lost glory, with its streets and highways neater than it had ever been in the over 100-year history as an urban destination. Hope is returning and investors are once again believing in the eternal promises of a new city that rewards men and women who work hard and keep faith in the validity of their dreams. Umuahia is also seeing a resurgence as we continue to expand the city's infrastructure base while restoring ancient landmarks. What many often forget is that Umuahia is one of Nigeria's earliest urban settlements, planned and structured for rewarding cosmopolitan experience. We shall continue to expand the scope of our public sector investments in the capital so that in no distant time, this city will regain its pride of place as a premier urban destination in the country. Beyond our commitment to establishing inviting urban centers in the state, we have also taken steps to make sure that no one is disadvantaged in any part of the state. Abia, with the recent signing of the state's electricity bill into law, we shall begin to see unprecedented levels of investments in different layers of the state's energy market. Our negotiation with Interstate Electric for the purchase of its electricity distribution business in the state is at an advanced level, and we expect to close the deal over the next few months. The managing board of the state's electricity regulatory agency will soon be inaugurated. And with that, the business of generating, transmitting, and distributing electricity for domestic and industrial users in different parts of Abia will move to a new gear. With key components of the electricity value chain firmly in the hands of new players and regulated by a team of world-class energy experts, we expect to see unprecedented business growth, influx of new investments, and the multiplication of opportunities for entrepreneurs, job seekers, and all who share in the vision of a new Abia. As a matter of fact, I sat through 3 days of interviews with different applicants from all over the world. And just over the weekend, we selected five of the best who will run the Abia State Electricity Regulatory Agency. Interestingly, four of them come from the state, but they don't live here. One of them lives in the UK, the other in Canada, another one in the US. But they are all willing to relocate here because of the open happening. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, friends and believers in it, I'm glad to assure you that we are on the right track. Today, the plethora of activities and their projected impact in the health and general living conditions of individuals and families are proof that we did not seek power to serve parochial interests, but to make a difference in the lives of men and women forgotten by the old order. My promise to you is that we shall remain focused and dedicated to the grand vision and the noble ideals that inspired us to begin the fight for the soul of Adam more than 10 years ago. The credit for the success of the last 22 months belongs to the ordinary men and women who never gave up in the face of multiple institutional frustrations, who believe that workers and retirees should earn their entitlements as and due, who refuse to accept insecurity and social uncertainty as the new reality of living, and to all who insisted that because every great society is built by the determination and commitment of everyday people, fought to rescue the state from the power that once held it hostage. We must, however, refuse to be misled, for clearly it is not yet in good. We are just starting and can only get to our destination by staying vigilant to stave off the distractions that often derail greater aspirations. Even then, it must be made clear that in our individual capacity, there are very important roles we must play to actualize the dreams that inspired this journey. Prompt and regular payment of taxes and other statutory fees must remain at the top of our agenda. Because when a government creates measurable levels of social prosperity, like we are currently doing, a share of the wealth created therefore is also due to it so as to further spread the fruits of development. The various health initiatives we are launching today, or we have just launched, will cost the state billions of naira to execute. So we encourage you to be steadfast in paying your taxes because that is the fuel that keeps the wheels of development in constant motion. Abia, as we promised in our manifesto, shall be great in our lifetime. It is now in our hands to make that aspiration our reality. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me also introduce one of our friends who joined us, who was not recognized during the